Welcome back. Today, a warning about romance scams. A lot of people are using dating websites to meet people. Some criminals are also using them to trick people who are looking for love, then steal their money. Julie Albrecht is the director of the Better Business Bureau serving Wisconsin. She's here with tips on how to spot these scams and protect yourself from what they call catfishers. Hey, Julie.
Hi, Molly.
You know, so many people, we've talked about this on the show, are on dating websites looking to meet people. And there's a lot of great success stories, but it sounds like there's a dark side to this, too.
Definitely. Online romance scams are really popular, and we like to warn people about it, especially this time of year around Valentine's Day. So, how the scam works is they usually start with a fake profile. So, whether that's information that the scammer made up, or it's simply a real dating profile that the scammer stole and they're impersonating an individual. Either way, they start to develop a relationship with you, and then eventually they ask for money. So maybe they have a health issue or there's a family emergency, whatever the reason, they need this money. And if you are to give it to them, they'll either keep asking for more for another reason and another, or they'll simply cease communication with you entirely.
Sounds like people need to be very wary when there's a hard luck story involved and then somebody sort of like all of a sudden seems to be ghosting them. One of the red flags you mentioned is too hot to be true, and you suggest to people that they be honest with themselves and really try to determine if this profile that they see with this person is genuinely interested.
Exactly. So, BBB's longstanding advice is if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. You have to trust your gut on this one and look out for people who seem to be extremely wealthy and extremely attractive. There's no such thing as anybody who's perfect. And so if they seem too good to be true, they probably are.
Another thing that you mentioned is that these catfishers tend to be people who move quickly, and it's important to know that when you talk about trust, they're trying to manipulate you into trusting them.
Exactly. So a lot of times they'll talk about trust and how important trust is in the relationship with you. Another tactic that they'll use is they'll try to get you off the online dating site or the app. Online dating sites and apps are actually pretty good at shutting down these fake profiles. So they'll try to get you off the app so that you can communicate in a different way, whether it's by email or phone or text message, so that their profile doesn't get shut down.
Makes sense. So how do you suggest people protect themselves from these romance scams?
Never ever give somebody your personal information or money if you've never met them, you don't know them. You have to be very careful about any personal information you give to anybody. That includes your last name, your phone number, your address, your birth date. Any of these pieces of information can be used against you, unfortunately.
You say to ask specific questions, which I think really makes sense, even asking about details in their profile because they might stumble over remembering some of the things they posted.
A lot of times these scammers are lying to you. And so if you can try to ask really specific questions and catch them in that lie, that's going to show you the truth.
The other thing is stolen photos. You mentioned that when they're setting up their profile, but there's a way you can do research to check that out too.
Yeah, if you go to images.google.com, you can do a reverse search on an image. So actually use an image and see if that's used anywhere else. A lot of times people will do this for scams and romance scams. So if you see this picture being used on somebody else's profile and the information doesn't seem to really align, that's a huge red flag.
Let's talk about the Better Business Bureau accreditation, how that works, and how you can use that to protect yourself from these dating scams.
Better Business Bureau accreditation is really the process of BBB evaluating and vetting businesses. So we have these 8 standards for trust, and Better Business Bureau accredited businesses have been evaluated and vetted by us that they adhere to these standards. And that really includes a commitment to integrity, ethics, good customer service practices, everything that us as consumers are looking for in a business. So if as a consumer you choose a BBB accredited business, you're choosing one that's already committed to this standard of trust, ethics, and good customer service.
That's wonderful. And I know people can apply for that too. We're going to share that information in just a second. But it's probably very important for businesses to apply for it so that people know that they're meeting people safely.
That's right. 83% of consumers are actually more likely to do business with a BBB accredited business than one that's not. So it's really important for businesses to maintain that accreditation and that good standing with the Better Business Bureau so that they can compete in the marketplace.
Such great information today, Julie. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
So to apply for that BBB accreditation we were just talking about, you can go to the website bbb.org/get-accredited, or you can call 414-847-6000 and speak to a BBB representative. And if you mention the Morning Blend, they will give you $100 off your first year's accreditation dues.